Well, welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit, the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Brantford Red Sox. And it's been a long time since we've seen a Maple Leafs team play 4 games in 4 days, but that's the challenge that they're faced with here this afternoon. Dan Procopio is on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's walked the leadoff batter. And here's a bunt down the third baseline. John Salazzo picks it up, flips over to first base to get the first out. If you've tuned into Toronto Maple Leafs broadcast before, you might think that everything has been turned around here, and we had a bit of a power outage situation in our press box today, so only the outfield has power at Dominico Field, so we're coming to you live from center field. And if you're watching the game at Dominico Field as well and you're wondering where the PA is and the music, same thing, all of that comes from upstairs. So we apologize for the technical issues today, but we're doing the best we can to bring you some baseball here on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, different views, but still bringing you good old Toronto Maple Leafs baseball.
So one out here. Gus Wilson is at the plate. Runner on third base. Gus Wilson batting .375 on the season for the Brantford Red Sox, one of the best hitters average-wise in the Intercounty Baseball League. Procopio's 3-0. Foul back. Wilson had the green light. Wilson fouls another one off, and now Dan Procopio is right back in the count. The guy behind the plate as well, Ryan Burnside. Justin Mara is in the lineup today, but serving as the DH, so Ryan Burnside will be doing the catching. Maple Leafs, remember, 4 games in 4 days, never easy to do.
Especially this 4th game on the 4 days. It's been a long week of baseball for the Maple Leafs, and you know, it comes with all these rain delays earlier on in the season, all the makeup games and all that. We all knew that this last stretch in August was going to be super tough for this team.
Gus Wilson battling here against Procopio. The 3-2 pitch is upstairs, ball 4. An extended at-bat over 7 pitches. And Gus Wilson wins the battle. So that's going to bring Christian Kazemka to the plate. Toronto Maple Leafs in the outfield goes Jesse Hodges, Ryan Dos Santos, and Greg Carrington in right field. On the infield, John Salazzo, Jose Vinicio, Dan Mara, and Jordan Castaldo is at first base. Ryan Burnside behind the plate catching Dan Procopio. This one's fouled off. So still runners on first and third here. We'll see if the Brantford Red Sox decide to get some motion going on the infield with the runner Gus Wilson at first base. Jesse Fishbaum is the runner at third. One way outside. There are some dangerous hitters in this Brantford Red Sox lineup. Christian Kuzemka still hitting .323 on the year, a home run and 21 RBIs. Ahead in the count here, 2-1 to the hard-throwing Dan Procopio. Pitch is fouled off again.
And we've mentioned it once before when the Brantford Red Sox were in town taking on the Maple Leafs. This is a new-look Brantford Red Sox team. They were coming off the heels of a 2-game win streak, and they're performing a lot better. They have a lot of good hitters in this lineup, a lot different from last year.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. First strikeout of the afternoon for Dan Procopio. He's at 17 pitches here in the first inning with 2 away. Dan Procopio comes into this outing with an ERA of .582 and 38 and 2/3 innings pitched. But strikeouts have been his game over those 38 innings pitched. 50 strikeouts for Dan Procopio. Nick Burdett is the batter, and the pitch is at the knees for strike one. Second pitch is low, 1-1. Burdett swings and misses, strike two. Dan Procopio is 1 pitch away from getting through a scoreless first inning of work. Brantford Red Sox coming off a 10-1 win against the London Majors as Burdett hits one on the ground right to Jordan Castaldo at first base. He steps on the bag to end the inning. Dan Procopio gets himself in a little bit of trouble, a strikeout and a weak ground out to first base. Get him out of that. 0-0 between the Brantford Red Sox and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Well, welcome back to Christie Pitts. Jeremiah Sucre takes the mound for the Brantford Red Sox. He'll face Jose Vinicio, who leads things off. Second pitch to him is hit on the ground to second base, flipped to first, one away. Kieran Bowles is playing out there at second base today for the Brantford Red Sox. Joining him at shortstop is Gus Wilson. Good defensive duo up the middle for the Brantford Red Sox. Lucas Bateman is playing third base and Nick Burdett is at first. The outfield is Christian Kuzemka in left, Jesse Fishbaum in right, and Roger Keane. Chris Ruiz is catching Sucre this afternoon. Justin Mara, not the catcher, the DH today. Ryan Burnside is giving Justin Mara the day off at catcher. Sucre's pitch over the outside corner for a strike.
And Sucre on the year, 30 strikeouts, 18 walks, and he's given up 67 hits. The ERA is sitting at 7.38. The strikeout to walk ratio, very, very good. Just having a little bit of tough time with some hard contact.
An ERA of 7.38 on the season. Sucre's 0-2 pitch. Just high. Jeremiah Sucre last pitch against Guelph. That was part of a 9-6 loss. But way back on July 14th, so it's been a while since Jeremiah Sucre has took the mound for the Red Sox. Pitch is up and away, 2-2. In that outing against Guelph, though, he was fantastic. 5 innings, allowed just the 1 earned run on 6 hits, walked 4, but struck out 5. Lowered his ERA that day from 8.21 to 7.39. Two-two. Up and away, full count. Justin Mara, after going behind 0-2, has battled all the way back, and the Maple Leafs, they're trying to do what they did on June 18th against the Brantford Red Sox, where they roughed up Jeremiah Sucre. Outside ball 4, Sucre suffers a 1-out walk. On June 18th, the Maple Leafs took a 12-2 win. Sucre went 4 innings, but allowed 8 runs on 10 hits. But since that outing, things have been going much better from the big righty. Justin Mara on first base, that brings Jordan Castaldo to the plate, and then the guy who's been heating up of late, John Salazzo, is right behind him. Pitch upstairs. Chris Ruiz is going to come to the mound to have a word with Jeremiah Sucre. That's now 5 balls in a row.
And again, Sucre, he has that good strikeout to walk ratio where he's not walking a whole lot of batters. Obviously just issued the one there, and he's losing a little bit of the control he's had. And it's the dangerous part of this Maple Leafs lineup with Castaldo and Salazzo going back-to-back here.
Second pitch to Castaldo misses. It's now 2-0. Castaldo takes what looked like a breaking ball that time. That catches the outside corner. Jordan Castaldo leads the Inter-County Baseball League in walks this season. Behind him, 2 of his teammates. As this one's outside 3-1. Jordan Castaldo has 39 walks this season in 35 games. And then behind him by a pretty wide margin with 33, Justin Mara and John Salazzo.
This team is not afraid to take their walks. They are really good at just passing the baton down and getting men on base.
And that one's in there for a strike. You can see Jordan Castaldo didn't like it.
You talk about how well Castaldo is at drawing walks, but he's also really good at just making contact. And he's currently riding that 19-game on-base streak.
Wow. Strike 3 called. He won't extend it there. Jordan Castaldo has a word with the umpire and is visibly frustrated after that. And that'll bring John Salazzo to the plate. This is a good matchup and a tough one for Jeremiah Sucre because the Maple Leafs are loaded with lefties. So Jeremiah Sucre is going to have the disadvantage pitching-wise. We get to see a whole new element of the game out here in center field. We know what it feels like to play outfield right now. We're right in their kitchen
great.
out here.
Yeah, if you hear the microphones drop, it's because I ran for a home run ball or we ran to try to save a camera. It's one of the two.
Yeah. We talked to John Salazzo before the game about making sure he pulls the ball today because some of those home runs will go to dead center and sneak over the wall here, and I'm worried for us.
Well, hopefully our fantastic tent will hold up.
That one misses outside. So John Salazzo one off the IBL home run lead. He's tied with Edward DeLeo of the London Majors. Tyler Duncan leads the way with 14. Salazzo and DeLeo with 13. Here's the 2-1. John Salazzo hits it in the air. And it's going to hang up and be caught out there in right field. He just got under it. Roger Keane was there to make the catch. So we remain scoreless, just the one base runner. All in all, a pretty good inning for Jeremiah Sucre. We're tied at 0 here in Toronto. Got a catcher. Chris Ruiz is going to lead things off for the Brantford Red Sox. Dan Procopio back on the mound and delivers a strike on the inside corner. Strong breeze blowing straight in from center field today at Dominico Field, so a park that's not particularly hard to hit home runs at, but that might be evened out a little bit with that stiff breeze coming in from center.
What gave it away with the breeze? That it's hitting us in center field?
Well, I had to look up to see if the tent was going to blow into center field. Ruiz takes one at the top of the strike zone. One. Check swing, and it's fouled straight back.
And we've talked on and on about Dan Procopio and how good he's actually been so far this season. You look at how in the innings pitched, 38 and 2/3 innings pitched, he has 50 strikeouts. He has been dominant for the Maple Leafs so far this year.
Especially in the second half. It was a bit of a slow start for Dan Procopio, which is why the ERA is up there. He looks like he is going to be a vital part of this team in the playoffs. Delivers up high, it's 2-2. Remember, Dan Procopio hadn't pitched in a long time before coming in to play for the Maple Leafs this season. Procopio, an MLB draft pick back in the day, pitched in the Intercounty Baseball League in 2017. But it had been a couple of years for Dan Procopio, and although he has really good stuff, and he just misses on the outside corner, it's a full count. He has really good stuff, but I think it took him a little bit of time to work on what he called a bit of a project this season to get back to his full form, and he's pretty close at this point, Dan Procopio.
Yeah, getting very close indeed.
Big 3-2. And it's popped up. This one's on the infield. Jose Vinicio takes a couple steps to his left, and he makes the catch, one away.
And I think that's just been kind of the running theme for this Maple Leafs pitching staff is just a lot of these pitchers at the start of the year, it was a big struggle. They were trying to get their footing here in the IBL, trying to, get into that groove. They couldn't find it. Then they found it, and everything was clicking at once, and this pitching staff looked like the best in the IBL.
Bateman steps in, the third baseman for the Brantford Red Sox. Just getting started this season for Brantford, but boy, what a start it has been for Lucas Bateman as he swings and hits one on the ground. That one's going to get through. Fielded by Jesse Hodges, and he has a single. And with that, this season, Lucas Bateman is now 7 for 11 to start his year.
It's a pretty good batting average.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Coming into it, he was batting .600.
Yeah, I can't do the math on the second one either.
I'm sure it'll update here in a second. We'll figure it out.
It's really good, though.
Hey, 636.
636, yeah. That number doesn't make any sense in my head, really. Roger Keane, the right fielder for Brantford this afternoon. He's in with one out and one on. Top of the second inning here. Looks like Marek Deska is already getting loose in the bullpen for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I would imagine that him coming into this game is in the cards. Pitch to Keane. This one's popped up. This could be a tough play. Greg Carrington coming in. He makes the catch on the run for the second out.
And you mentioned at the start of the game there that this is the fourth game in a row for the Maple Leafs. Well, They get 1 day's rest, and then they're right back at action, back here to face Kitchener on the 15th. So not that much rest happening in the dog days of August here for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No Matthew Fabian in the lineup today for the Brantford Red Sox. And why is that significant? Because he's the IBL leader in batting average this season. Evan Ryan is at the plate. He has had just 42 at-bats this year, a homer and 6 RBIs, but hitting just 142. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dan Procopio strikeout number 2 through 2 innings, and it's still 0-0 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Brantford Red Sox. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Jeremiah Sucre back on the mound for the Brantford Red Sox. He'll face Ryan Burnside, who fouls the first pitch off. Ryan Burnside hitting .348 on the season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. What a year it has been, but in limited action, just 43 at-bats for Burnside.
And the 43 at-bats, the 15 hits, and 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles, and the home run. And it's big that you can have another catcher on the roster here like Burnside, especially, you know, with 4 games in a row, giving Justin Marr that rest.
He takes low. Counts 1-1. Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking ball that time from Sucre. Brantford Red Sox are coming off 2 games which they played their opponent pretty well. Strike 3 called outside corner. Jeremiah Sucre sets down Ryan Burnside. A 10-1 win yesterday against the Brantford Red Sox, and then on Friday, 3-2 loss against the Welland Jackfish. What a game that was for the Brantford Red Sox, but came up just short. So here's Jesse Hodges, who is playing left field today. Jesse Hodges, left field, third base, and pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season.
We know he has a cannon out there in left field.
Jesse Hodges also one of the better personalities that you'll meet in the Intercounty Baseball League as well. Seems to have a very lighthearted view on the game of baseball, but at the same time is a guy who's really dialed in when he's on the field. That's what happens when you come from professional baseball. Former teammate of Maple Leafs catcher Justin Mara in the minor leagues. Here's the 1-2 to Jesse Hodges, and he hits it on the ground, foul, third base side. Jesse Hodges hitting .218 this season and 55 at bats. Here's the 1-2 from Jeremiah Sucre. And Jesse Hodges pops it up. This one's in foul territory on the first base side, and it's out of play, foul.
And he said it best. Jesse Hodges has just not been able to have a lot of playing time. You know, coaches outside of the IBL takes up a lot of his time.
Yeah, he's only appeared in 13 games for the Maple Leafs this season. Despite the batting average, I think that everyone still has a ton of belief in Jesse Hodges and what he can do. I think consistent playing time has kind of been the story of Jesse Hodges' season in terms of trying to get in a groove. That strike three called. Hodges didn't think so. Jeremiah Sucre paints the inside corner for the strikeout. This is Dan Mara at the plate. Mara hitting .336 on the year for the Maple Leafs, and another slow breaking ball from Jeremiah Sucre. Catches the outside corner. 2 strikes early against Dan Mara. Quickly, Sucre into the windup, and he just missed high. Sucre was trying to catch Dan Mara napping at the plate as he quickly went into his windup. And that was pretty close. Now he slows things down, a long look in. Here's the 1-2 to Mara. Fastball, outside corner, strike 3 called. Jeremiah Sucre has 3 strikeouts, or has 4 strikeouts now on the afternoon as he gets 3 Maple Leafs in the bottom of the second inning. Brantford and Toronto still tied at 0. New pitcher into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Deska. Just 2 innings of work today for Dan Procopio, but 2 good ones. Gets the Maple Leafs through a couple scoreless innings. Dan Procopio just allowing the 1 hit and had a couple strikeouts in the 9 batters that he faced. Jesse Fishbaum is at the plate, back to the top of the order. Fishbaum hitting .237 with 13 RBIs on the year. We'll hit down the lineup sometimes in the number 9 spot, but no Matthew Fabian here this afternoon, so Jesse Fishbaum is going to step up in the leadoff spot, something he did quite a bit last season. Deska's pitch is way outside. Deska, the longest tenured Toronto Maple Leaf on the mound. He's in the head in the count 1-2 to Jesse Fishbaum. Pitch outside, check swing, did he go? Yes, says the first base umpire. That's strike 3. Deska strikes out the first batter he faces this afternoon.
And a good start to the game for Deska, getting that first strikeout and keeping this pitching that was so strong by Dan Procopio. He's keeping that strong pitching alive here in the top half of the third.
Deska has an ERA of 5.62. Hasn't pitched at home for the Toronto Maple Leafs since the first game of the season on May 14th, as that one's over the outside corner for a strike. He pitched an inning and gave up 1 run. That was part of a 5-4 win on opening day where J.J. Dutton stole the show with a mad dash home on an infield ground ball from second base. Kieran Bowles is at the plate for the Brantford Red Sox.
Man, that mad dash home play, that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, way back in May. 5-4 win against the London Majors. 2-1 is fouled off by Bowles. He got a piece of a Deska breaking ball. One, two. Over the outside corner, but it's dished into the outfield. Greg Carrington will pick it up. It's a 1-out single for Kieran Bowles. Brantford Red Sox have some life here in the top of the third.
And just good piece of hitting right there by Bowles. That pitch on the outside half, drifting away, and he just takes it over the head of the jumping and leaping Dan Mara. Soft single into right field.
Age has seemed to defy Deska over the last couple years. He is about as consistent as they come in the Intercounty Baseball League, as this one's fouled off. And he's never had a season where he's put up some kind of unreal, ERA with a 1 or a 2. He's had some years in 2014 where he came away with a 3.12 ERA. But in his IBL career, an ERA of 4.88. That will play in the Intercounty Baseball League. One thing that coaches and managers love about a pitcher on the mound, consistently.
Exactly.
They know exactly what they're going to get. Deska is on the hill.
And when you've been that consistent for that long, that's pretty huge to have.
Just misses to Gus Wilson. Still ahead in the count 0-2, or 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Deska. On the play, the runner was going. So Jesse Fishbaum, or Kieran Bowles, I should say, is into second base. Couple hitters at the top of the order retired by Marek Deska. Another good one, and Christian Kuzemka at the plate, and he now has a runner in scoring position. Kuzemka with 21 RBIs on the year, and he hits one up the middle into center field for a base hit. Picked up by Ryan Dos Santos. He's coming home with it. The play at the plate, and he is out! Oh, what a throw from Ryan Dos Santos to gun down Kieran Bowles, and we remain scoreless. Marek Deska and the Toronto Maple Leafs love it. What a throw on one hop to the catcher, Ryan Burnside. Well, how about Jeremiah Sucre last inning, striking out 3 Toronto Maple Leafs, Ryan Burnside, Jesse Hodges, and Dan Mara. Dan Mara, not an easy guy to strike out. I don't remember the number exactly, but he has less than 10 strikeouts on the season. So Ryan Dos Santos will step to the plate, and what a throw it was from center field to keep this game scoreless.
That number you're looking for, Dan Marr, 13 strikeouts.
13. Okay, well, that's pretty close.
That was very close. Very close.
Dos Santos fouls one straight back.
And we got a pretty good angle of that throw in from center field to home plate right here. You can kind of see it on a line.
Yeah, and Kieran Bowles was about at third base when Ryan Dos Santos was picking up that ball as he squares the bunt but takes outside. And when that happens, that's usually a pretty good formula for throwing someone out. It wasn't a ball that was hit deeply. It was almost right at Ryan Dos Santos. He charged it perfectly, and the throw was right on the money, too. If that throw was anywhere to the left or right, he's not out. That pitch is in there for a strike. So you would have to imagine the reason that Kieran Bowles was making that turn was, one, the fact that it was 2 outs, and 2, it was going to have to be a perfect throw to get him at home plate. Dos Santos check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, said the third base umpire. So Ryan Dos Santos will head down to first base, and he is a threat to steal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Greg Carrington is in the number 9 spot today for the Maple Leafs.
Carrington hitting .230 on the year, 17 RBIs, and 61 plate appearances.
Hitting .230 as there's a throw over to Ryan Dos Santos at first base. Dos Santos has 10 stolen bases on the year. Here's a little chopper towards third base. Going to be a tough play. Barehanded flip to first, not in time. Carrington beats it out. Ryan Dos Santos moves up the extra 90 feet. Nobody was covering third base, and Dos Santos is now threatening over there at third with nobody out.
And that's just a really good bunt right there by Carrington and get it down on that chopper. And then heads up base running by Dos Santos, just takes off. You see when that third baseman crashes, shortstop falling asleep there, not going over and covering third, leaving it wide open. And with the speed that he possesses, you need to be, you got to have all your bases covered.
Maple Leafs just need a single to drive in that run. Jose Vinicio, the best in the business at doing just that. Greg Carrington, that hit for him, that might be the start of something good. I don't think there's no hiding behind the fact that he has been struggling a little bit at the plate, just one hit in his last 5 games. As Vinicio fouls the first pitch off down the first baseline. And I think we kind of saw it with the Toronto Blue Jays the other day where George Springer got that little blue pit finally after breaking that. It was 0 for 28, 0 for 30.
0 for 36, I think.
0 for 36. Got that little hit, and all of a sudden he's on fire once again. Maybe the same thing happens from Greg Carrington because we've seen him be really good at times, even this season for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, he had the start of the season where he was hitting grand slams. It felt like almost every other game.
Yeah.
Hasn't really gone back into that, that dominancy at the plate.
Similar thing to Jesse Hodges, bit of a lack of playing time as well. And by lack of playing time, mostly lack of ability or availability.
Yeah, that's always the tough part.
Yeah. But he's been back and playing pretty consistently with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they need his bat out there in right field. This is a guy that they will rely on, especially in the playoffs. Vinicio behind in the count 0-2. He bunted through the last pitch. Sucre is in some trouble here in the bottom of the third. 0-2. Up high. Jose Vinicio leans out of the way. Jeremiah Sucre pitching in his first year in the Intercounty Baseball League. It's been going pretty well for him with the Brantford Red Sox. 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Coming over from playing with the Ryerson Rams, now the TMU Bulls in the OUA. Jeremiah Sucre was a big part of a TMU Bold playoff run back in the 2019 season. 1-2, just outside, full count. That was a good take there from Jose Vinicio, as you can see him shaking his head. Jeremiah Sucre this time wanting the call.
And something that I'm not sure if we caught on the camera was the center fielder Fishbaum went, his idea, thought it was a strike.
Or 3-2 is hammered down the line, but foul.
And again, it's a 2-strike count. We know how dangerous Jose Vinicio gets into, and how dangerous he is when it's a 2-strike count. Really does a good job at just fouling off tough pitches, staying alive in the count, and just producing at the plate.
Jose Vinicio doesn't seem to care much about what pitch he gets. This time it's a breaking ball. He hits it pretty well. This one's deep towards center field, and it is gone! 3-run home run for Jose Vinicio as he just clears the wall out in right center.
Once again, we see him produce with 2 strikes. The skinny pop coming through.
Well, Jose Vinicio has had a lot of pop lately. That's his 5th home run on the season, with a .337 batting average to boot, and the Maple Leafs jump out in front 3-0. was a rocket out there from Jose Vinicio. Closer to center field than right. And we have the luxury of having a pretty good vantage point on pitch location here in center field. That was not a very good pitch location from Jeremiah Sucre. That breaking ball hung and didn't have a lot of break way up in the strike zone.
Yeah, when you leave it up there to a dangerous hitter like Jose Vinicio, that's what's going to happen.
And Jose Vinicio is not selling out for power right now. He's hitting a lot of home runs lately. As that one just misses over the outside corner. I think he's just so confident right now that he's not afraid to pull the ball if he gets a pitch that he likes.
Yeah, we talk about how good he is defensively, how good he is at just making contact and on the bases. If he has that power coming around, that's a scary thing to see for this Maple Leaf squad who already possess so much power in their lineup.
Especially when it's 1 through 9 and the guys at the bottom of the lineup will get on base a lot. Take Ryan Dos Santos, for example, a guy who hits 8-9 almost every game, but he's hitting nearly 300 on the year. And a lot of the time, Ryan Dos Santos or Greg Carrington will be on base when Jose Vinicio comes up to bat, or at least when it's not in the first inning. Vinicio, all 4 of his home runs coming in the second half of the year. Bouncing ball up the middle. Justin Mara is aboard. And now that's 4 consecutive hits for the Toronto Maple Leafs to lead off the 3rd inning. They've already driven in 3. So after Jeremiah Sucre struck out the side against the Toronto Maple Leafs at the bottom of the order, the top of the order has come up and seen him for the 2nd time, and they've been doing damage. Here's Jordan Castaldo. In there for a strike on the inside corner. Jordan Castaldo was one of the 4 strikeout victims of Jeremiah Sucre in the first inning, and now Castaldo hits one pretty well. This one's deep to center field, and it's off the top of the wall. Jesse Fishbaum crashes into the fence, but feels it quickly, and the throw comes into second base, so Jordan Castaldo will have to settle for a long single on a ball that was about 2 feet, and we have a pretty good vantage point because they hit about 10 feet to our left off the top of the center field wall.
And again, right there, Jordan Castaldo showing that he is a force to be reckoned with. 20 straight games he has reached on base, whether it be via a walk, whether it be a hit. That's 20 consecutive games, dating all the way back to, I believe, June 2nd against the Hamilton Cardinals.
So John Salazzo steps to the plate, and this is the kind of situation where John Salazzo gets into a ball. I think there's a pretty good chance, at least in John Salazzo's mind, that he can get a hold of one and maybe pull one out to right field. Salazzo takes outside, just missed. Jeremiah Sucre clearly knows that he is going to have to get that ball over the outside corner to John Salazzo. I think there's a good chance that John Salazzo is thinking of pulling the ball as well right now with that big power he possesses in the short porch out there in right field. 5 consecutive hits for the Toronto Maple Leafs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Still nobody out. And the Leafs have runners on 1st and 3rd, and a meeting on the mound here with Sucre. Salazzo with 13 home runs on the year, 1 off of Tyler Duncan of the Hamilton Cardinals for the IBL lead. This is a long conversation on the mound. Home plate umpire will come out to break things up. And I think this is not anything to do with Jeremiah Sucre. I think that conversation had a lot to do with how are we going to get John Salazzo out, because the coaching staff for the Brantford Red Sox is thinking the same thing we are here, and we've seen this a lot where pitchers start to jump on, or Maple Leafs batters start to jump on an opposing pitcher. John Salazzo is the guy who does the big damage.
Yeah, we've seen him hit nuclear shots here at Christie Pitts.
When the Maple Leafs have a train of hits going together, John Salazzo is the conductor.
So I was just making sure I was doing my math right. So it is 20 consecutive games for Castaldo, but it's dating all the way back to June 28th against Barrie. Last time he never reached base in a game was June 25th against Welland, where he went 0 for
against the best team in the IBL.
he went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He didn't walk and didn't hit, and that was the last time.
It's not often when you'll see a line like that from John Salazzo, and are they walking John Salazzo here? The count was 3-0. John Salazzo is halfway up the first baseline, and now there's someone has some kind of displeasure with something that's going on right now. It might have to do with the strike zone.
Salazzo says back to the bench, so not really sure.
That was Thomas. That was their catcher who got Thomas.
Oh, okay, so the catcher Chris Ruiz has just been ejected from the game. So the Brantford Red Sox are going to have to find someone to catch, and maybe we can go through the lineup card. And I mean, I think this is going to have to be Jeremy Villa who comes in to catch. I think he's here today.
And just before all of this ensued, I was going to say John Salazzo currently riding a 7-game hit streak.
Yeah, I hear the going to break music coming up, but I don't know if we're going to break yet. I don't know what the procedure is. Do you have to warm up a catcher?
I think he just has to get dressed.
I mean, let me tell you, this isn't going to be easy here for Jeremiah Sucre. He's in a 3-0 count to John Salazzo. Now he's going to have the delay here.
And he can't warm up because he doesn't have a catcher.
I could throw it to someone else. One of these outfielders here would probably be happy to do a little long toss. Our challenge is going to be to find out who is coming to the game. There's nobody there right now.
Okay.
I guess we'll take a quick break here, and we'll come back in just a couple minutes when we get things sorted out.
You guys get a mid-injection interview?
welcome back after a bit of a delay. Here's the 3-0 pitch to John Salazzo. It's hit on the ground and foul, just foul down the line. So a bunch of defensive substitutions. The Brantford Red Sox are playing on a pretty short bench today, so new catcher is going to be the second baseman, Kieran Bowles. Nick Burdett is going to slide over to fill Kieran Bowles' position at second base.
And Tyler Wilson off the bench is coming over to play first.
Down the line again, and that one's a fair ball from John Salazzo. 1 run is in to score. Salazzo cruises into second base with an RBI double. 6 consecutive hits now in the 3rd inning.
6 consecutive hits, and that's 8 consecutive games that John Salazzo has reached base via a hit.
Well, there was no question that John Salazzo had the green light 3-0. Then he got a similar pitch, and this time kept it just inside the foul line. So John Salazzo catches in his 43rd RBI on the year. Ryan Burnside steps to the plate, and Burnside crushes one, but foul down the right field line.
Do you think these Maple Leafs hitters are locked in right now? They are seeing the ball extremely well here in the bottom half of the 3rd.
They have a very good chance to bat around here in this 3rd inning. 0-1. This one's hit on the ground to the pitcher, Sucre. And holding his ground at 3rd base is Jordan Castaldo, so that's 1 away. 4-0 still, the Toronto Maple Leafs lead. Jesse Hodges will come to the plate, one of the few righties in the lineup for the Maple Leafs. That breaking ball from Jeremiah Sucre, if he can get it down, would be effective. John Salazzo looks like he's fighting a bee. They're at second base. Look at John Salazzo. Jesse Hodges hits one in the air. This one's pretty deep, but it looks like it's going to hang up. Catch is made out there by Christian Kuzemka, but that's going to be enough to score another run. The sacrifice fly for Jesse Hodges, and it's 5-0 Maple Leafs.
Good piece of hitting right there by Jesse Hodges. You just kind of got to get something in the air and let it fly, and that's exactly what he did. Got the sac fly right there.
So this is Dan Mara at the plate, and he's the final batter not to hit for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ryan Dos Santos led things off. He's on deck.
And it looks like the fight between Salazzo and the Bee is over.
Oh, I don't know. Did you see him get it or anything?
I don't know. He might have.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's still there. It's still going on.
Jeremiah Sucre is like, what's this lunatic doing at second base trying to distract me? Just fighting a bee.
Hey, before the game, during setup, there was a fly that attacked me. And the one and only Rob Vona came in and saved me. So
That's great.
it's,
1-0. Breaking ball. Catches the top of the strike zone. Hit on the ground, diving stop, and it sneaks into the outfield under the glove of the 3rd baseman. John Salazzo getting the wave home. Here's the throw to the plate. It's not in time. Dan Mara cruises into second. It's 6-0 Maple Leafs.
And that's just great heads-up base running by Dan Mara and by John Salazzo. The ball gets away. 3rd baseman's still on the ground. Salazzo takes off and then just turns on the jets to go home. Mara reads that perfectly and then just creeps up to second.
Lucas Bateman got a piece of it with his glove, knocked it down mostly, but instead it just scooted away from his shortstop. So 6-0 Maple Leafs, and they've officially batted around here in the third inning. Ryan Dos Santos has a runner in scoring position. That's Dan Mara out there at second base. Maple Leafs leading 6-0. Jeremiah Sucre sees his pitch count reach 71 with this pitch. Two and one. This one's lined and on one hop to the second baseman, Nick Burdett, who gets his first bit of action out there at second base this afternoon. But the Maple Leafs, they get 6 in the third, and they lead big over the Brantford Red Sox as we head to the fourth inning here at Dominico Field. The graphic. So Merrick Deska now has a bit of a cushion to work with for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he has been pounding the strike zone. 12 strikes, just 4 balls to start his outing. Nick Burdett, now the second baseman, is at the plate. Things got very complicated there in that third inning when Chris Ruiz was ejected from the game by the home plate umpire. We're not sure what for, but you'd have to imagine that it was strike zone related, as there was some conversation going on about that. And the Brantford Red Sox have a short bench today, so they're going to have to find a way to scrape and claw and try and get back into this game, but I think they have some guys who are not in particularly familiar defensive positions.
Yeah, you gotta make best what you have. That's what the Red Sox are trying to do today.
And one thing that they do have, especially of late, is offense. 10 runs against the London Majors yesterday. They put up 14 against the Barrie Bay Cats on August 6th as part of a 14-9 win. The Brantford Red Sox have won 2 of their last 3 games. Nick Burdett pops this one up. Does John Salazzo have a play? I don't think so down the line. Always difficult to play 3 games in 3 days. That's the challenge that Brantford has faced today. But the Maple Leafs, they have 4 games in 4 days. And they have an off day tomorrow, but then they're right back here at Dominico Field against the Kitchener Panthers, where they'll play a game that's going to start in the 2nd inning as part of a rainout. 1-2, Burdett lines one to center field. Ryan Dos Santos coming over. He makes the catch. 1 away. Long battle to start the inning. Finally, Marek Deska puts away Nick Burdett. Deska now 17 strikes in 5 balls. 22 pitches.
That's pretty good.
And that is exactly what you want to do up 6 runs.
You were talking about the consistencies?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Don't start nibbling at the edge of the strike zone until you have to. Or maybe never. People don't hit a lot more than 30% in baseball. If you can pound the strike zone with a 6-run lead, there's a very good chance that you'll come away with a win. Perfect guy on the mound for the Maple Leafs.
And just taking a look here at the remaining schedule that the Leafs have, they have 6 games, including today's, until the 21st of August. So I believe that's, I want to say 6 games in 10 days they have so far, if my math is mathing.
Tyler Wilson into the game as the first baseman. He came in defensively in the 3rd. He's hitting .285 this season. Wilson has appeared in 6 games for the Brantford Red Sox, but I'm not sure how many of those have been at first base. I think he's mostly played outfield for Brantford this year. Pitch just high, 2-2. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Marek Deska gets Tyler Wilson looking. Marek Deska with just 5 walks in his 16 innings that he pitched coming into this afternoon's outing. Now here's the red-hot Lucas Bateman trying to get something going with 2 outs, and that something looked like he was shooting for a solo home run there, a big swing and a miss on the first pitch. 0-1. Change up, inside corner for a strike. Fastball, outside. Just high.
And this is just, watching this is just very, very nice to see from Marek Deska. You know, just gets the ball, gets in there, and gets back to throwing.
Got him. Nope, he got a foul tip at the plate.
When you have your pitches working and you're as consistent as he's been today, everything, it's just a rhythm. Once you're in that rhythm, you don't want to get out of it, and you see it right here. He's already back into his windup.
1-2. Fouled off. Good thing that our stream is on a delay, or else we might hear some trash cans banging somewhere, because you can see the pitches very clearly from this angle. Ready? What's he going with? Fastball, inside corner. And he hits it right back to Marek Deska. Catch made at first base by Jordan Castaldo. 1-2-3 inning from Eric Deska. That's exactly what you want to do after your team puts up 6 in the third. To the bottom of the fourth we go, 6-0 Maple Leafs. Greg Carrington's going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs, facing Jeremiah Sucre back on the mound for his 4th inning of work, and Carrington hits one in the air, about medium depth right field. Catch made by Roger Keane. Greg Carrington is retired. Back to the top of the order for Jose Vinicio, Toronto Maple Leafs shortstop. This might be the end of the line here for Jeremiah Sucre, an early visit to the mound. And that's going to do it. I didn't catch who was warming up in the Brantford Red Sox bullpen, but we'll have that for you in just a couple of minutes. Quick break here on Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. See you in a couple of minutes. Jose Vinicio steps to the plate, and he had a 3-run home run in his last at-bat. That hit was significant, extending his hit streak now to 18 games. 18-game hit streak for Jose Vinicio.
You want to hear one better?
Yep.
With that hit, he extends his on-base streak to 30. 30 straight games Jose Vinicio has been on base, and only one of those games he hasn't reached via a hit.
He fouls the first pitch off. He's behind 0-1. 30-game on-base streak. The Toronto Maple Leafs have played 36 games this season.
Vinicio has a hit. Did not get a hit on this on July 1st against Guelph, but every other game dating all the way back to May 31st against Kitchener, when he started this on-base streak, he has recorded a hit. So I'd say, 29 out of 30 games having a hit is pretty good.
Good for the leadoff hitter. Pitch upstairs. Counts 2-1. Jose Vinicio lines one, foul down the right field line. The Toronto Maple Leafs, well, they're trying to fend off the teams that are coming up behind them. The Kitchener Panthers are 3.5 games out of first place. The Maple Leafs are 9 games out of first place. The Leafs do have 3 games in hand on the Kitchener Panthers, but are behind them by a pretty wide margin at this point. 2-1. And Vinicio takes low and inside, ball 4, so he'll head down to first base. The teams that are right on the Maple Leafs' heels, the Hamilton Cardinals and the Guelph Royals, although the Hamilton Cardinals aren't really trending in the right direction right now. Hamilton is 2-8 in their last 10 games and are on a 3-game losing streak. The Guelph Royals, they added at the deadline and it's working. They're starting to play into an above 500 team, although 17-21 right now, 6-4 in their last 10.
They've slowly been climbing those standings. The Maple Leafs look like they'll hold on to 4th place, barring any craziness coming from the Kitchener Panthers, because I believe they're up 7 games on them.
Justin Mara is at the plate and takes outside. Kyle Nash is into the game for the Brantford Red Sox on the mound. He replaced Jeremiah Sucre. Sucre got touched up for 6 earned runs on 6 hits through 3 1/3 innings pitched. Kyle Nash is an ERA of 5.40 in 10 innings pitched for the Brantford Red Sox this season. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike here on Justin Mara. Mara takes over the outside corner 2-2. Strike pitch from Kyle Nash. Justin Mara hits one in the air. This one's pretty deep to center field, and the catch is made on the run. Jesse Fishbaum reaching out to make the catch, and scampering back to first base is Jose Vinicio. Boy, that was a lot of ground covered there by Jesse Fishbaum. He was about 3 feet in front of the wall when he made the catch, and he had to stretch out to make that play.
Yeah, you got to give him some credit with all that ground covered. Making that catch in front of the wall here. We had a fantastic view as he just kind of ran in front of us here. But a great catch right there by Jesse Fishbaum.
Yeah, and was playing Justin Mara to pull, and he had to go all the way to the other side of Diamond to make that catch. 2 down. Here's Jordan Castaldo. Pitch was a strike, so now 0-1 to Jordan. Castaldo with 5 home runs on the season. A lot of his power has been coming lately. By the way, Jordan Castaldo has his batting average up to .320 on the year and 34 RBIs. A lot of the power from Jordan Castaldo comes the other way. Pitch outside. Vinicio steals second base at a huge jump, and Kyle Nash didn't even look over at him once.
And what else do you expect? When Jose Vinicio gets on base, he's just going to take off and steal.
The pitch was not a very good one to throw on as well for Kieran Bowles.
25th stolen base of the year for Jose Vinicio.
This one's hitting the air. That one's going to get down into the outfield. Jose Vinicio will score easily. Jesse Fishbaum fields it. Jordan Castaldo has an RBI single, and it's 7-0.
And again, just great piece of hitting by Jordan Castaldo right there. Just loops it into shallow right field, and Jose Vinicio, with his speed, he's scoring with ease.
So Castaldo's on first base. Ups that batting average above 320 now on the year. With the start that Jordan Castaldo got off to with the bat, he was down in the mid-250s at one point in the year. This one's hit to center field, but not particularly deep. Coming in is Jesse Fishbaum. He slides and he makes the catch. What a play there by Jesse Fishbaum, and a couple good defensive plays by the Brantford Red Sox center fielder. That limits the damage to just one, but it's 7-0 Toronto Maple Leafs. To the fifth we go. The bats for the Brantford Red Sox have their work cut out for them. First pitch from Merrick Deska is in there for a strike. Big hello to Ryan Dos Santos out there in center field. Got the wave to the camera.
He's out there having fun.
Top of the fifth inning, Maple Leafs leading 7-0. Swing and a miss, strike three. Merrick Deska mowing down Brantford Red Sox at the moment. Merrick Deska has 4 strikeouts in his first 2 1/3 innings. Bottom of the order here for the Brantford Red Sox as Ryan steps to the plate. He takes the first pitch up and away.
I will say, for our broadcast tent, I picked the wrong side.
Yeah, you getting some sun?
I'm getting a little bit of sun. Can't see any of the screens.
That's unfortunate, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's a tough time out here.
Big swing and a miss by Evan Ryan. This counts 1-1. Deska's pitch is up and away, a swing and a miss, strike 2. 4 strikeouts already for Marek Deska. He's locked in on the mound. Does he go with the changeup here? Or does he stick with the fastball? He's going to go fastball away. And he just missed upstairs. It has been incredible having the luxury of seeing the pitch calls from Ryan Burnside and how accurate Marek Deska is. Shakes off the changeup, goes to the fastball outside, and that was pretty much right on target.
That's exactly That's exactly where you want to put that one.
Fox Pappas is playing first instead of Castaldo.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, up and in. Marek Deska has 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3. And he's doing it efficiently as well, 40 pitches. If he can get a quick out here, Marek Deska will certainly have enough gas in the tank to come out for another, maybe even 2 more innings.
Yeah, looking over at the Maple Leafs bullpen, they're not concerned.
Nope.
Not a concern in the world.
First pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Marek Deska has a little bit of zip on that fastball. Ryan Burnside nearly having that throw go away from Marek Deska as he makes the jumping catch off the mound. Sticking with the fastball on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1, and it's hit on the ground to second base. The sure-handed Dan Mara flips to first to Robin Fox. Pappas getting his first taste of action over there, first base for the Maple Leafs. Jesse Fishbaum grounds out. Marek Deska rolling on the mound, 5 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning. It's 7-0 Toronto Maple Leafs. A new pitcher to the game for the Brantford Red Sox, the TMU Gold pitcher, Noah Falkenberg. Bottom of the 5th inning. Falkenberg will need to shut down the Maple Leafs here. Toronto got 6 runs in the 3rd, fueling their huge lead here this afternoon. Ryan Burnside at the plate, takes outside, the count's 1-1.
Burnside has had a nice day behind the plate, calling a really strong game.
Yeah, over the last couple innings, it's fastball outside or a changeup. That's kind of been the go-to. Eric Deska, well, I mean, it's really 3 pitches. He's going the fastball away to all of these righties batters. He's getting strikeouts with the changeup down and in or down and away, mostly down and away. And then the fastball up and in seems to be a key to success. Swing and a miss there by, or maybe getting a piece of it in the dirt, was Ryan Burnside. Noah Falkenberg has pitched 22 innings for the Brantford Red Sox. He has an ERA of 6.95. That's a line drive into the outfield. Solid base hit to lead off the inning by Ryan Burnside.
Good play calling behind the plate, and good at bat right there by Burnside. That was some loud contact. That ball hit to right field.
Toronto Maple Leafs have 2 really good hitting catchers on the squad this year. Although Ryan Burnside will kind of do it all. He's pitched. He'll play in the outfield for the Maple Leafs. Ryan Burnside had an outing in London where he went 5 innings against the London Majors. Here's a one-hop shot to Gus Wilson, and it eats him up. Flipped to second, not in time. And that may or may not go as an error. It was a sharply hit ball, though, by Jesse Hodges.
He knocked it down, and then he just bobbled it a couple times on the pickup. Unfortunate break right there for Wilson, but looks like it will be
E6, yeah.
Yep, it will be classified as an error.
Maple Leafs will take it. 2 runners on, nobody out. Dan Mara at the plate. And that breaking ball had some wicked movement out of the hand from Noah Falkenberg, but missed outside. It also seemed to have really early movement. Dan Mara picked that one up. Another breaking ball, and Mara smashes this one on a line to the outfield, and one hops off the wall. 1 run in to score, and Jesse Hodges is going to cruise in to third base. Dan Mara at second as he has a ringing double on that high breaking ball from Noah Falkenberg.
And Dan Mara, just always such a phenomenal hitter. Does a good job just getting the bat on the ball. That time displaying a little bit of power, taking it to the wall.
So Dan Mara continues to smash the baseball this season for the Maple Leafs. Ryan Dos Santos now at the plate. He takes a strike. 2 runners in scoring position for Ryan Dos Santos. He has 19 RBIs on the season. 0-1. Outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Swing and a miss on an inside breaking ball. That one was in a good spot from Noah Falkenberg, and he records the first out of the inning via the strikeout. Falkenberg has been very happy to throw that breaking ball to both righties and lefties for the Toronto Maple Leafs. That one's over the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Missed with it inside that time.
We've seen Greg Carrington have a good day at the plate so far.
Greg Carrington's going to get a fastball here. The 1-1. And he fouls it off.
I think it was a fastball call.
Yeah. Fouled off again. Yeah, I'm not sure that I actually don't have any real insight on how complicated the combination of signs get in the Intercounty Baseball League with the runner out there at second base. But I mean, Dan Mara is looking in. They're putting one sign down to Greg Carrington as that one misses up and away. And a guy who had no idea that he was going to be catching today, I'm not sure there's any real chance for him to go over much.
Yeah, unless you're doing it between innings.
Fastball in. Carrington fouls it back. Nothing Maple Leafs. In the dirt. Dan Mara, a line drive double into the outfield. One hop the wall, cashed in a run.
So there might have been some talk between the catcher and the pitcher about some signs. Change it up right there on that last pitch.
Breaking ball, fouled back. That one was hanging in the middle of the plate for Greg Carrington. He just missed it. Greg Carrington has 2 home runs this season. They both came in the first couple weeks of the year. 17 RBIs. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Had a hit in his first at-bat, an infield single. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Falkenberg misses low and away. That's ball 4. So Greg Carrington heads down to first base. He's on base for the second time this afternoon. The bases are loaded for the Maple Leafs. And Jose Vinicio, who already has a home run and 3 RBIs, has a chance to really blow the doors off of this one.
Yeah, and it's the right hitter in the right spot right now with Jose Vinicio coming up to bat. Like mentioned earlier, 30-game on-base streak, 18-game hit streak. He's been on fire.
Vinicio takes the first pitch over the outside corner for a strike. Jose Vinicio has that batting average up to .339. 0-1 in the dirt, blocked nicely there by Kieran Bowles to preserve a run. If the Brantford Red Sox can find a way to get out of this inning without any more runs scoring, there is still some opportunity for them to be within striking distance. Over the last couple games, they've scored more than 10 runs twice in their last 3 games. That pitch just misses outside. It's 1-1. Brantford Red Sox have also won 2 of their last 3 games. When they win, they put up 10 or 14 runs. Vinicio hits one on a soft line to shortstop. Gus Wilson makes the catch, and all the runners will have to hold their ground. Now there's 2 away. Justin Mara trying not to leave the bases loaded. He's got Robin, Fox, Pappas on deck. We got a pinch hitter now, so Justin Mara is out of the game. Grant Tamane is going to come in to pinch hit. So he comes into a big spot here for the Maple Leafs, and Tamane puts pretty good wood on it, hits it deep, and one hop off the wall. This will be a stand-up double here. Oh, nope. Grantamani puts on the brakes, but he does cash in a couple runs, and it's an RBI single off the wall. It's 10-0 Maple Leafs.
And welcome into the game, Grant Tamane. Getting that ringing single off the wall, cashing in 2. Good way to start off your day.
On the first pitch he sees from Noah Falkenberg. So now a guy who came in defensively, Robin Fox Pappas. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Fox Pappas is a big guy and an imposing presence in the batter's box. Maple Leafs have runners on first and third as Fox Pappas fouls this one off towards third base.
You talk about a big presence in the batter box. Well, it doesn't get it doesn't get easier with the guy that's on deck, when John Salazzo.
Yeah, and it looks like he is gonna hit in his spot here. Fox Pappas behind 0-2. And now he hits one on the ground. That one gets through Nick Burdett. Another run is going to come in to score. Robin Fox Pappas did a good job to take that outside breaking ball the other way. But that was probably a play that should have been made at second base for the Brantford Red Sox. So John Salazzo steps to the plate. The Maple Leafs are leading 11-0. Not a bad offensive performance for their 4th game in 4 days.
And Salazzo did extend his hit streak to 8 games earlier on.
Fox Pappas is credited with the single there, and rightfully so, a hard hit ball to second base. Salazzo takes outside. Noah Falkenberg came in mid-inning. He's now throwing 30 pitches to get 2 outs. Behind in the count, 2-0 here to Salazzo. Salazzo takes a strike on the outside corner. John Salazzo just waiting for something up and on the inner half that he can do damage with. Noah Falkenberg has left that breaking ball right in that position a couple times in his outing so far. 2-1. That one's in the dirt, 3-1.
And we told Salazzo at the start of the game, hey, pull the ball today. Don't hit our camera or tent.
In an 11-0 game in the bottom of the 5th, one off the IBL lead in home runs, I think he might just be trying to pull the ball right here. 3-1. John Salazzo swings and misses. Can Noah Falkenberg get out of this inning? Here's the full count pitch. Salazzo hits one in the air, high and deep. Is it gonna stay fair? Yes, it is. A home run. John Salazzo is now tied for the IBL lead in home runs with 14.
We told him to pull the ball, and that's exactly what he does today. The conductor does it once again. 3-run shot for John Salazzo.
Give him 4 RBIs. He has 46 on the season. John Salazzo is on fire, and I think this is going to be the end of the afternoon for Noah Falkenberg. So the Maple Leafs, they're up 14-0. We still got a long way to go in this one in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. Maple Leafs have opened up a big lead here over the Brantford Red Sox. And still trying to get out of this bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher in the game is Gabriel Braun. And he gets a strikeout, so that will do it for the bottom of the 5th. Ryan Burnside goes down swinging. Another quick break. We'll be right back in a second. Well, with the workload that the Toronto Maple Leaf and especially their pitchers have had over the last couple days, they've called in Sebastian Kahn, and he's on the mound here for the Maple Leafs. This is a guy that the Maple Leafs know pretty well, though. He pitched last year for this team, a couple outings, one against the Barrie Baycats, one against the Welland Jackfish, and he's a guy who can give them some length. This summer has been playing for the Mississauga Tigers and around the Toronto area. Last outing that Sebastian Kahn had was on May 23rd last year. He went 7 innings for the Maple Leafs.
That's probably a good thing with my part, which I like.
Working quickly, and here's a line drive caught by Yoichi Ishihara and at shortstop. A shoestring catch for the first out.
Nice play.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just a nice play right there by Yoichi Ishihara, newly entered in.
Yeah, so Ishihara is in at shortstop for Jose Vidicio. JJ Dutton has come in center field for Ryan Dos Santos. delivers the first pitch in there for a strike. So after seeing the very traditional straight over the top Merrick Deska, Sebastian Kahn into the game coming from that kind of three-quarter sidearm delivery. And these pitches that you see, they fall off the table right at the last minute there from Kahn, and he works quickly too.
He has a really good spin on that breaking ball.
0-1 in the dirt. This is Gus Wilson at the plate. Wilson has walked and struck out this afternoon. Three one. And it's just low, ball 4. Just missed below the knees. So Gus Wilson heads down to first base. Brantford Red Sox haven't got much offense going this afternoon. No runs on 3 hits. Merrick Deska out of the game. He was fantastic. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs. High chopper over the head of John Salazzo. That's a fair ball down the line. Jesse Hodges is going to field this one near the foul line, and that's going to go as a high bouncing double for Tyler Wilson. That was a strange play to say the least, but Tyler Wilson will take it. And the Brantford Red Sox have runners on second and third with 1 out. That ball had to be very close to bouncing in foul territory.
So I believe the one that hit the chopper there was actually Christian Kazemka.
Miles, you got a pinch runner there, eh?
Yeah, Jarrett Lupton has now come into the game. So Lupton is at second base, and I do not think that there's anyone left on the Brantford Red Sox bench today other than pitchers. This one's hit in the air by Nick Burdett. It hangs up. Jesse Hodges makes the catch. Look out, he's got a cannon. Here's the throw to the plate, and backing off and retreating to third base was the runner, Gus Wilson.
And that's the thing about
Yep.
Hodges in left field. If you're taking off for home, you got to take off.
Yeah. So this now, Tyler Wilson. Wilson swings and misses at a juicy breaking ball there from Sebastian Kahn.
And you can see a little bit of the hesitation right there in Wilson's swing, and that's because that breaking ball, it snapped at the last second.
Chopper on the ground. Long play for Ishihara. Throw to first. Not in time. Oh, they say the foot came off the bag from Robin Fox Pappas. That play was in time by Ishihara, who's newly into the game at shortstop. And the throw is just a little offline. Fox Pappas did all he could to stretch and make that catch, but the foot slipped off the bag. So the Brantford Red Sox will score their first run of the ball game.
And you got to tip your cap right there by Yoichi Ishihara. That was a great throw. Just unfortunately takes Fox Pappas off that bag.
Lucas Bateman, the third baseman at the plate. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Bateman is 1 for 2 today, so he's dipped that batting average to .583 on the year. Breaking ball from Kahn that misses outside. So the count's 1-1. Maple Leafs lead 14-1 over the Red Sox, but they're trying to get out of this 6th inning. Kahn's pitch is low.
And one thing I'm liking when I'm seeing out of Sebastian Kahn right now is just the way the deception he has on that slider. He can either drop it vertically or he can drop it horizontally. Has great run and life on it.
That one's on the top of the strike zone for strike 3 called. Bateman goes down looking. Sebastian Kahn gets through the inning of work, and he will likely go a couple more for the Maple Leafs as they lead 14-1 over Brantford. So Gabe Braun back on the mound for the Brantford Red Sox. He's facing Jesse Hodges. Jesse Hodges in a full count here against Braun. And timeout called by Hodges.
I thought Castaldo's was hit harder.
Yeah, I seen that.
Castaldo's was like
Full count.
Line
Hodges takes way outside. I think that might have slipped out of the hand there of Gabe Braun, so he's aboard to lead off the bottom of the sixth. Not that we're anywhere close to this point, but if the trajectory of the amount of runs that the Maple Leafs have scored this game continued for the rest of the game, they would have an extremely high number in the upper 20s. And we're poking around. We think that the most runs that's ever been scored by the Maple Leafs is around 27.
According to Jeff Lounsbury, the GM, he was giving us the insider tip there that possibly a couple 27s, 26s were hit a couple years ago.
It's not an easy stat to look for unless someone had it at the top of their mind. Dan Mara gets hit by the pitch. He heads down to first base. There's some oohs and ahs from the crowd, but I don't think there was any intent on that whatsoever because the Brentford Red Sox, and frankly, I don't think they can afford to have any pitchers out of the game. JJ Dutton is at the plate. He'll get his first at bat. 2 on, nobody out. Dutton hits a line drive into the outfield. That one's down for a base hit. Jesse Hodges will pull up and stop at third base. So the bases are now loaded for the Maple Leafs with nobody out in the bottom of the sixth.
And newly entered in for the first at bat. Puts a good swing on the ball right there, just kind of putting it through that left side gap. And Greg Carrington has a chance to get some RBIs here.
Last home run that Greg Carrington hit was a grand slam at Dominico Field in early June. Pitch from Braun. Outside. Gabe Braun started out beautifully for the Brantford Red Sox. 3 pitches to get the strikeout ending the bottom of the 5th inning, which was a long 7-run 5th inning for the Maple Leafs. But now it's run into some control issues in the 6th. 7 balls, 7 strikes. Way outside. Nowhere to put Greg Carrington here. Big 3-0 pitch coming. And that one finds the strike zone. Greg Carrington taking all the way. Count now 3-1. Fastball count here for Greg Carrington. Can he find something that he likes? Carrington swings and misses. Foul tipped it into the glove of Kieran Bowles.
Count running full here.
Gabe Braun, the last thing he wants to do is to nibble. He's coming right after Greg Carrington. Carrington pops it up. This one's on the infield. Gus Wilson comes over and makes the catch with Nick Burdett circling behind. So that's the first out, and a big one for the Brantford Red Sox to keep this one within reason. This game is really a battle of who is deeper and who has more stamina. The Toronto Maple Leafs coming off 4 games in 4 days, the Brantford Red Sox 3 games in 3 days. And the Maple Leafs have seemed to outlast Brantford in that marathon stretch that both teams have been going on this weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately here for the Maple Leafs, they have the bench pieces to take out some of their starters.
That one's to the backstop. Jesse Hodges coming home, and he will score. Maple Leafs lead 15-1. Meanwhile, the count is 2-0 on Yoichi Ishihara, who's in at shortstop. Ishihara getting his first IBL home run a couple games ago. Ishihara hit that one against the Kitchener Panthers in Kitchener. A 3-run shot. Congratulated Yoichi Ishihara about that before the game. He just flexed his muscles.
I saw that. Put a little flex.
Yeah, he's been really good with the bat though this year, just home run or not. Chops one foul into his dugout. Ishihara comes into this game hitting .371, and the sample size is pretty big. 70 at-bats for Ishihara this season. Here's the 2-2. And he chops one on the ground to first base. Nick Burdett fields it, throws to first to get the out, but it's an RBI and another run in for the Maple Leafs. They lead 16-1. So Grant Tamane is going to come in now in the DH spot as he subbed in for Justin Mara. Tamane takes outside.
His last time up, he hit that liner to the fence in left field.
Jordan Castaldo is out of this game as well, but I was looking back and I don't remember the last time that Jordan Castaldo didn't lead the Intercounty Baseball League in walks. As here's the ball hit to center field. Jesse Fishbone coming in. He can't make the play. Another run comes in to score, and another RBI for Grant Tamane. It's 17-1. But I look all the way back, and Jordan Castaldo in 2017, I believe it was, 2018, did not lead the league in walks. That was the last time that he didn't do that, but he was second.
Hey, only by 3.
And with that walk today, he now has 40 on the season. He's 12 walks ahead of anyone that's not on his team.
That's insanity.
At this point, he's going to do it again this year.
Well, you'd think so.
Robin Fox Pappas is hitting in his place now and playing first base. How about Grant Tamane starting to come around with the bat? He's 2 for 2 in his 2 at-bats today, and he has 3 RBIs. Fox Pappas is 1 for 1. He singled in his last at-bat. Up and away from Gabe Braun. Fox Pappas takes a breaking ball for a strike over the outside corner. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, full count. Braun checks on the runner at first base, but there was nobody on the bag. That's a balk. And Grant Tamane didn't want to go to second base. But he'll do it anyway.
And again, just tough breaks for the side of the Red Sox.
I think Gabe Braun knew in the back of his mind there wasn't anyone at first base. I think that was bit of a lighthearted moment here in a 17-1 ball game. Fouled off again. Robin Fox Pappas is battling. And the game's 17-1. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to go on to win this game in all likelihood. But there are some important at-bats here from some guys that didn't start in the game. Grant Tamane getting a chance to find his mid-season form. Robin Fox Pappas the same, hasn't played a ton early in the season. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're not going to have every single player that they have right now into the playoffs. There are guys that are going to go back to school because their seasons at their respective colleges and universities are going to be starting up. We don't know exactly who those players are, but Maple Leafs have a lot of players coming from colleges and universities. I believe Aiden McCaskey has already gone back to school.
I believe J.J. Dutton is another name to watch out for that possibly happening for the playoffs. And that's going to be an impact bat missing.
Swing and a miss. Gabe Braun finally wins the battle over Robin Fox Pappas. It's 17-1 Toronto Maple Leafs here at Dominico Field. They are putting up a mammoth offensive performance with 3 in the 6th. (17-1) Maple Leafs. Sebastian Kahn still in the game. Nice play on a comebacker right to the mound. He'll flip to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. So Sebastian Kahn last pitched in May of last year in the Intercounty Baseball League. He's been pitching all year with his team in Mississauga. In that outing, he went 7 innings and he threw 130 pitches against the Welland Jackfish. 130 pitches, so I think he has more than enough ability and pitch count to finish out this ball game for the Maple Leafs if they need. And they only have 1 off day tomorrow, so those pitchers are not going to have full tanks by the time the game on Tuesday night happens.
Yeah, it'd be very helpful if Kahn would be able to go a couple innings here.
Maple Leafs would love to see him finish out the game, although it looks like Evan Elliott is getting loose in the bullpen. If that is Evan Elliott getting loose to come into this game, that'll be a big outing for Evan Elliott. He has had some struggles with his command of late, but we know that I think it's just a matter of finding that one little thing that's going to click. Well, this would be a perfect opportunity for a guy who is a high leverage guy in the Maple Leafs bullpen to get things back on track.
Yeah, and we know he has it in him. We saw it when he first joined the team, how good of a pitcher he is. Right now, it seems like he's either staying too open with when he's finishing his pitches, the breaking ball is just not snapping off. Something just needs to be fine-tuned, and Maple Leafs have the ability to do that here if they decide to bring him in.
Evan Elliott at the beginning of the season was lights out, and he's probably the hardest thrower on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Full count, outside ball 4. What a battle there by Evan Ryan against Sebastian Kahn. He finally works the walk. See J.J. Dutton standing there in our camera shot in center field. He had a special moment the last time the Maple Leafs were at home here. Blasted his first Inter-County Baseball League home run. Jesse Fishbaum, the leadoff hitter, is at the plate. And Fishbaum taps one foul towards the Maple Leafs dugout.
And if we squint all the way down there to the Maple Leafs dugout, it looks like Wilhelmus Alvarado has reclaimed his ball boy duties.
Yeah, well, Wilhelmus Alvarado, now that he's moved to the starting rotation for the Maple Leafs, he knows when he's going to be pitching. So he's on starting pitcher time now.
He threw today. He's fine. He had his warm-ups in, did that, and now he doesn't have to worry. He gets to enjoy a baseball game.
Kahn misses down low, 2-1. This one's popped up. Going to be a tough play for Robin Fox Pappas, and it's just out of his reach.
Good effort down there on the line by Fox Pappas.
Yeah, he had no play really, but he made it close.
He made tried to do the good old Vladdy basket catch there at first.
Yeah. Jesse Fishbaum is 0 for 2 this afternoon. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sebastian Kahn got him swinging, so that's his second strikeout this afternoon. Dan Procopio started things out for the Toronto Maple Leafs this afternoon. He went 2 innings, just allowed the 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out a couple. Then Marek Deska came in and had maybe one of his best outings that he has had this season. 3 innings, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts over those 3 innings. Marek Deska usually averages about a strikeout per inning, but this afternoon he really had the Brantford Red Sox on the wrong foot. And then Sebastian Kahn has come in and done a nice job for the Maple Leafs here as well. Yoichi Ishihara takes a tough bounce there at second base, but recovers nicely to get the out. Sebastian Kahn is through a couple innings for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just allowed the 1 run and a couple strikeouts to boot. 17-1 Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs up big at 17-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. John Salazzo hit a home run in his last at-bat. He has 4 RBIs. He's 2 for 4 today. 3-run homer, RBI double. Now he hits one on the ground to first. Wilson beats him to the bag just in time. Look at John Salazzo getting out of the box.
You know, we talk about Jose Vinicio having skinny pop. Does John Slav have sneaky speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. I never really thought of him as being slow, but when you think of a power hitter, that just generally comes with the reputation of being slow, which John Salazzo is not. Is he? I don't even know. Is he fast? I'll have to ask John. Do you think he's fast? Yeah.
We're in the right spot to ask him. He can't avoid that question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll have to cross by us on the way out.
Stand guard at the clubhouse.
Nick Davies is the new pitcher in the game. Davies has only pitched an inning in the 3rd this year for the Brantford Red Sox. This one's hit on the ground to short. Gus Wilson scoops it up, throws to first to get the out. This is the 3rd game that Davies has appeared in. Davies with the Hamilton Cardinals organization last year, pitched in 5 games in the regular season, then came in 4 games in the playoffs.
So far looking strong.
Actually, sorry, I'm just reading that completely wrong. Davies actually came over from the Hamilton Cardinals this year. Traded over here to the Brantford Red Sox. Jesse Hodges is behind at the count 0-2. That one's in the dirt. Davies trying to go with the fastball away. Hodges takes it the other way. And right in his tracks, out there in right field, Roger Keane makes the catch. Maple Leafs go down in order for the first time in 4 innings, but they're up 17-1. Evan Elliott into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs in a not very high stakes situation, but Evan Elliott in his first 6 outings just allowing 2 hits, but has allowed multiple runs to come in to score in his last 3 outings for the Maple Leafs. This is a big chance for Evan Elliott to turn things around right here. That one just misses high, it's 2-0.
And you see right there, that fastball, it's such a plus fastball. If he can keep that breaking ball under control, he can go back to being that dominant pitcher we saw in those first couple appearances.
Here's the 2-0. Just misses high, 3-0. Up and away, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to start things out. So Gus Wilson heads down to first base. Base runner here. Jacob Lupton, and that one goes to the backstop there from Evan Elliott. Ball 1. Jacob Lupton came in as a pinch runner at second base a couple innings ago, so he's into the game, replacing Christian Kazemka. Lupton hitting .286 this year in the IBL. Evan Elliott finds the strike zone with a breaking ball. It's 1-1.
And that's a beautiful breaking ball right there. You can kind of see him jumping out of the way. It was Lupton.
Another breaking ball right down the middle for strike 2. So Evan Elliott, 5 straight balls, and has come back with 2 well-placed breaking balls to get ahead in the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and over the head of Lupton to the backstop. The runner will go up to third base. Counts 2-2. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Evan Elliott, 3 good breaking balls to get the strikeout on Lupton.
And that's the thing we want to see out of Evan Elliott. Have good control of that breaking ball, and that's exactly what he just did with 3 beautiful pitches that he snapped off.
Nick Burdett is going to stand in the first pitch, breaking ball. That one misses low. Burdett hitting just .138 this season. And he's in as the second baseman as Evan Elliott misses outside.
Dial it down now, Evan. Take your spot now. Let's go. Take your spot now, kid.
Pitch misses way outside, so now it counts 3-0.
Slow it down.
3-0 pitch, outside, ball 4. A couple 4-pitch walks here in the top of the 8th for Evan Elliott. Taking a look around the Intercounty Baseball League right now, the game tied 9-9 between the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. At one time, the Hamilton Cardinals had a lead of 7-3. Now 9-9, and that game's in the 9th. Elliott tosses one to the backstop. Nobody knows where the ball is. Is the runner going to come home? He is. They still can't find it. finally Ryan Burnside finds the ball. The runner Gus Wilson at third base is looking around. And Brantford Red Sox are going to get their second run. It's 17-2. Can't say I've seen that happen before.
Yeah. Not sure if it just got the backstop and Burnside didn't see it or what the case was.
Another breaking ball from Elliott. He finds the strike zone. The Welland Jackfish are up 3-1 on the Barrie Baycats. That game started at 3 o'clock today, as this one's popped up to second base for the second out of the inning. Barrie Baycats are currently being one hit by Jake Harford. He's through 5 innings of work. It's 3-1 Welland. Welland has 3 runs on 8 hits. So that game pretty close as well, but Harford is rolling right now. He's only throwing about 70 pitches into the 6th inning. Lucas Bateman, the third baseman, stands in and he swings and fouls it off at home plate. 1-1 the count.
And so far in this inning, really minus the 2 walks, Evan Elliott has looked a lot better than the past 2 previous outings.
Yeah, but it's just the fastball. Evan Elliott hasn't found the strike zone with the fastball yet in this outing. His breaking balls looked really good though. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball that falls off the table, and Evan Elliott sprints over to get the baseball. The runner Nick Burdett moves up to second base.
And he has good life on the curveball. And it's funny to see that, how the issue is completely 180 here. Before the fastball was lively, he was getting it in for strikes, and then it was the off speed that was missing. Now the off speed's looking very strong, and the fastball is just missing for him. If he's able to get these pieces together, we know how good he can be.
Pitch up and away. It's now 2-2. Evan Elliott would love to end this inning right here. 1 run in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Beautiful breaking ball that time from Evan Elliott. He gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. The Maple Leafs up 17-2. Evan Elliott with some promising signs there in the top of the 8th. Hayden Stam is going to come in here for the Brantford Red Sox. He'll face Dan Mara in the waning innings of this game here at Dominico Field. And a ground ball to shortstop goes under the glove of Nick Burdett. And Dan Mara is aboard. That'll most definitely be charged as an error. Give some credit though to Nick Burdett. I don't believe he's had a ton of experience out there playing second base. He's kind of filling in on an emergency basis right now.
Yeah, earlier on had to shift around a couple positions. Guys in the infield had to move. Probably not playing positions they're used to.
J.J. Dutton fouls this one off. Dutton takes one on the dirt there from Hayden Stam. J.J. Dutton hits one in the air, foul territory. Wilson over, and it's just out of his reach. Just past the outstretched glove in foul territory. Should mention from J.J. Dutton.
And right there, a long strike on Dutton.
Who's 1 for 1 this afternoon after coming in defensively. J.J. Dutton replaced Ryan Dos Santos in center field midway through the game. Here's the 1-2. Dutton fouls it off. J.J. Dutton hitting .350 this season.
A very hot bat right there, right now for the Maple Leafs.
1-2 is in the dirt. 2-2. Hayden Stam in 5 innings pitched this season has a couple strikeouts, but an ERA of 19.80. 2-2. Dutton hits it in the air. Playable in right field. Roger Keane in. He makes the catch. 1 away. Dan Mara will scamper back to first base. Greg Carrington, who's 1 for 3 with a walk. Carrington takes up and away. Carrington fouls one off down the right field line. Roger Keane gives it a look, but it's well out of play.
And you got to credit both of these teams. It's been a long, long week. Maple Leafs on the heels of the 4 days in a row playing. Brantford on the heels of 3. A lot of baseball being played in the dog days of August.
Carrington crushes one deep down the right field line, but that one's foul again. Brantford Red Sox have had a major improvement from the 2 games that they won last season. Here's the 1-2, breaking ball, and a looping breaking ball misses outside.
Definitely a step in the right direction for this Brantford Red Sox team.
Yeah, they're 5 games out of the London Majors in 7th place. This one's popped up by Carrington. This is playable at third base. Catch made. 2 away. Brantford is 8-28 on the season, but has put a real scare into quite a few teams. The Welland Jackfish a couple games ago, beating the London Majors 10-1 last game.
Earlier on in the season, beat the Maple Leafs.
Beat the Maple Leafs early on, yeah. And they have some potential, whether it be maybe not this year. I mean, it's going to be a tough series against what looks like it'll be the Welland Jackfish in the first round. That'll be tough, but you know, we've seen them play the Welland Jackfish close a couple times. But I mean, yeah, the Brantford Red Sox, they can get some good starting pitching, and we know the offense is there. They have two of the best hitters in the IBL at the top of their order.
Everybody likes a good underdog story. And the Brantford Red Sox, in that first round of the playoffs, they'll definitely have it.
Ishihara takes a strike. It's 3-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Yuichi Ishihara was looking for his second IBL home run there. Yeah, guys like Danny Howitt and Pal Nash have done a good job for the Brantford Red Sox. Ground ball to third, throw to first, not in time. Ishihara sprinting down the line, beats it out. Lucas Bateman was not quick to get that ball out of his glove, and Ishihara was giving it 110% all the way down the line.
Yeah, Bateman, he took it on the bounce, thought he can take his time, but Yoichi Ishihara showing off that speed that he has, utilizing it very, very well.
First pitch swinging is Grant Amane. Yeah, Isaiah Ramos is a guy who doesn't have a very good ERA this season for them, but he's had some really good outings. The last one against the London Majors in that 10-1 win, 7 innings, just 1 earned run, and he struck out 6. You have an outing like that in the playoffs, you're gonna win.
You're winning a game, yeah.
If you only have to cover 2 innings with your bullpen, you're in pretty good shape.
And all it takes is for a team to catch fire at the right time. Anybody, you know, they say it about Major League Baseball, you know. It's a tournament at the end of the year. Anybody can catch fire at any time. We saw it back in 2019 with the Washington Nationals.
One of the teams that would be the least happy to face Isaiah Ramos in a playoff game, the Maple Leafs. Tough, funky lefty. When utilized in the right spot, boy, he can be a problem. 2-2. Tamani fouls it off. Another 2-2. Fouled off again, same pitch. Tamani waiting for a fastball. Grant Tamani all of a sudden hitting .348 this season with his good offense over the last couple games. Little blooper. Caught by Gus Wilson as he goes back at shortstop. Maple Leafs don't score in the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for the Brantford Red Sox. They trail 17-2. Evan Elliott back on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Evan Elliott allowed a run last inning, but seemed to really have that breaking ball going. Would love to build on some fastball command, and Roger Keane had no chance at that one. Elliott buried that one in the dirt.
And again, the breaking balls look sensational if he can just start commanding that fastball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wipeout breaking ball from Evan Elliott. Is he starting to feel himself a little bit here?
It looks like he's feeling himself with that breaking ball right now, and if that keeps up, that's a very, very good sign for the Maple Leafs.
If he strikes out the next 2 batters here, I wouldn't be surprised if that carries on for the rest of the season.
I can see that happening.
Big next couple outs here for Evan Elliott. Fastball for a
Great
strike
fastball.
inside corner. Perfect pitch. 0-1. Breaking ball finds the inside corner. Strike 2.
He's working quick, too. He's in a groove right now.
Yep.
He's liking what he's feeling.
May have unlocked something. Let's see. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Looks like he's going outside, and he pulled it in the dirt. Got to shake that one off.
He slowed up right there. He took a second to get the pitch and then took a breath. And again, right back into the fast windup.
Inside, and it hit him. So Evan Ryan will head down to first base. One away, and back to the top of the order for the Brantford Red Sox. It's Jesse Fishbaum and then Kieran Bowles. And a hit him again. Jesse Fishbaum heads down to first base.
And after having control of that breaking ball, it just seems he's just over-releasing it again.
Yeah.
It's just coming out of his hand too high.
Kieran Bowles on second base, Jesse Fishbaum on first. Or Kieran Bowles at the plate, I should say. Jesse Fishbaum at first base. One out. Here's the pitch. Finds the strike zone on the inside corner with the breaking ball. Evan Elliott's done a good job at front dooring that breaking ball in this inning. And then finds the outside corner with the fastball. It's 0-2.
I like, even though after the 2 hit batters, he goes back to that inside breaking ball. That's why I liked it with that pitch mix.
Another one, pretty well located, but a good job by Kieran Bowles to fight it off. Gus Wilson is on deck. Evan Elliott ahead in the count, 0-2. Going back to the breaking ball. And he just missed inside.
Again, another good idea with the breaking ball there. Just snapped it a little early.
Breaking ball again. Just missed inside. But I think he's looking outside with that breaking ball. 2-2. Fouled off at the plate. Good battle here from Kieran Bowles. He's seen all breaking balls.
Evan Elliott's stuff right now has a lot of life on it.
2-2. Inside with the breaking ball. Full count. Evan Elliott is in the strike zone, he's pretty much unhittable for the Maple Leafs. Full count pitch. Just missed inside, ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. And the guy warming up in the bullpen is Adam Mara. He has pitched a lot these last couple games. Adam Mara has 5 career saves in the Intercounty Baseball League. 3 of them have come this season, all in big spots. The last one, a 4-out save against the Hamilton Cardinals in a game that the Maple Leafs led by 7 runs at one point, and they ended up winning that one 11-10. Talk about a pressure situation for Adam Mara to come into.
After working a lot like he has, like you mentioned there.
Where did the home plate umpire go?
He's writing down something. He's standing right behind Evan Elliott on our screen.
Oh. Oh, he just disappeared. Is this a pinch hitter? Oh, pinch runner out there. Second base. Let you know if we figure that one out. No, not at second base. It'd be a pinch runner somewhere. Maybe at first. Breaking ball finds the zone from Evan Elliott. Can Evan Elliott get out of this bases loaded situation? Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. He got him. Tyler Wilson goes down swinging. The strikeouts have been right there from Evan Elliott. That breaking ball is hard to hit.
It's good stuff. He has good stuff coming from the right side. Again, if he can just figure out the control for his pitches, he's a dangerous pitcher.
On the ground to short. Throw to first. That'll do it. Well, a bit of a laugher for the Maple Leafs. And Evan Elliott battling to get back in the strike zone does in the end. And the Maple Leafs, the 4 games in 4 days is over. And they come away with 2 wins, and that's probably something that'll be a victory to them.
Yeah, you know, you played really well. The offense sparked once again. You got great pitching from all your pitchers. And it was just a very good team win for the Maple Leafs, winning this one 17-2.
I appreciate everyone watching Toronto Maple Leafs TV, and we'll be right back with you on Tuesday night at Dominico Field. That's a makeup game against the Kitchener Panthers.